Welcome to Morning Mimosas, where we value human life, criminal justice, healing, and education for the Black and minority communities. What that entails: wrongful convictions, missing persons, cold cases, breaking stigmas, and educating with one goal at the end: making sure that we are doing effective change, one person at a time. Good morning, afternoon, evening, whatever time you are watching this. My name is Holly, but you guys should know that by now.
Hello, humans. I'm Fatu. Also, should be known by now.
For sure, for sure. Y'all, this is Morning Mimosas, where we value human life, criminal justice, healing, and education for all people, but for our intents and purposes, we value the Black and minority communities because that's the community that we are. So, just wanted to put that little spiel out there for people that may have something to say about what my and Miss Fauci's missions are. We are Black women, and we are also of minority community. So we have to speak on the community from which we come from.
Well, that's all we know. In and
There's
out.
also that.
Yeah.
There's also that fact.
Mm-hmm.
Y'all, so today we are doing a recap of the year. We have finally made it to the
Gee.
end of 2023. Goodness, what a year it's been.
But you know what? It moved really fast.
Sure
Like
did.
time, I remember is June just starting.
Me too. Me too. That's the thing that's crazy. I'm like, yo, the summer barely just ended, like, and it's
Mm-hmm.
about to be spring, technically,
Yeah,
like, so
for sure.
it's insane, guys. But before we get started, I like to do surprises and stuff. I did this for Miss Fatu earlier. I just want to say thank you so much for everything that you've done for Morning Mimosas and myself. Um, you have been a huge factor for me personally, and you've been a huge factor for my podcast. And you are a true asset to human life and humanity. So I just wanted to
Mm.
let people see this and just give you like the biggest thank you. Just grateful for you. Just
You are
had to
very
let
welcome. I'm really it's hard for me to accept compliments and thank yous. I don't know why. I told I'm a weirdo, but you are very welcome. I think it's because
I'm
it's
the same
just
way.
me.
I'm the same way. I'll be like, okay, thanks.
Mhm.
Yeah, so 2023 what a year it's been from beginning to the end. We started the year off, we lost Gangsta Boo at the beginning of this year. And you guys know she is a icon in Memphis and just an icon in the rap game. So I just wanted to start off and say rest in peace to her because that's unfortunately how our year started off.
Mhm.
um, like I said, what a year it's been. Carly Russell, um, Bluetooth, and Krishan.
Oh, Blueface. Girl. I was gonna say, who at the wait a minute. You said Carly Russell. I still never went back and researched her stuff at all. Just no interest.
I mean, she got what 18 months in jail and
I
probation.
don't
So
even know. I didn't even know that they even arrested her. I know that she had gone to court, but I didn't know like sentencing or anything like that. At that time, in that period of time, it was like now instead of going by months, I'm going by school classes, right? So that was when I was taking those two difficult classes. Easy classes, difficult instructors. Remember, I used to tell you all the time.
yeah,
And but I don't know, even if I wasn't drowning in the work from those classes, if I would have still paid attention. Um, my level of my give a fuck level is at like a negative whatever. It's not even gonna be positive about people who are doing dumb shit or mental illness shit, right?
That's true.
Um, for me and my brain, when I heard people talking about it, I was just thinking about how insane you have to be in your brain to play games with lives, emotions, finances, and time and effort. And then out of everything that I've ever heard, I never once have heard her be remorseful or apologize. Like, I've never seen a post where she came out and said, because it would have come through my feed at some point, my little 15 minutes of watching. It would have come through. I would have heard like Dana and her friends talk about it, that she apologized. So and then didn't the parents go on the news? Didn't
Yeah, and defend.
news? So
And defend her lying ass. Yes, they sure did.
So the level of mental instability that has to happen under that roof in there, because I don't know, first of all, if that was my child or even my son pulled a stunt like that, I'm not gonna go on the news knowing that she fucking lied.
No, exactly.
Because that's a double down, and that tells me that you've been telling your daughter that that behavior, whatever was a catalyst, she's used to getting her way, she's used to attention, and whatever it is that she had grasp of. I don't know if it was a job. I thought, was she in nursing school or something?
Yep, she was in nursing school. Her boyfriend was allegedly cheating on her, etc. Yep.
Wait, she didn't do it for the boyfriend, did she?
That's what the alleged whole plot was about. Was for the boyfriend that ended up dumping her anyway. And that's another thing too, that I want to talk about is when people, like you said, when people do things because of mental illness or just because they're just narcissistic. That also ties into people who, because we talk about this a lot, people who kill their spouses or someone because they don't want to be with them no more. That also ties into that. There's just, and we've seen it a lot this year.
Mm-hmm.
I actually just watched. There's a beautiful lady. Her name was Deshay. I forget what city this took place in, but she had a husband that she adored. But you can see that her husband was not interested in her at all. He used that woman until he eventually, stabbed her and then shot her. But when you watch the clips, I'm gonna share this video with you later on. But when you watch that video, and the reason I'm mentioning this is because she was killed in October of this year.
Just if you don't want to be with somebody, don't.
He was a bum, though. He was a bum.
But listen, what people forget is that we are here on time. Tomorrow, the next breath is not guaranteed. We can die any second, any moment. Our own lives really are not ours, so to speak. We're living our lives, right? We can only control ourselves, but we're here on borrowed time. Exactly. No one else. We do not belong to anyone, and no one belongs to us. So if this motherfucker said, "I don't want to be with you, I don't want to try," then that means that there's something that you're being saved from, and go find your partner. But people have such a hard time with not getting what they want. The audacity, their ego is so huge that you have the audacity to tell me no. What was the girl, the college boy that he saw her at a party and she already had expressed disinterest in him? Apparently,
talking about the basketball player from University of Alabama.
And so then he killed her. You killed her because she didn't want to be with you. The level of I got everything I want in life, and I am like, I put people like that into the sociopathic, psychopathic category immediately. Because I don't even think if you had a level of emotional intelligence that you may not have done that, but I still think that something went off in your brain. Like you have to have her. Like there's something about her that you just gotta have. And don't get me wrong. We all see people, we all meet people, we all know people that goddamn, I just want to be with that person. There's something about them that I'm drawn to. But if they're not with you, it's for a reason. Whether it's they're not attracted to you or it's just not fucking written for y'all to be together. And you just have to accept that and keep it pushing and find your person.
The screenshots that I showed you earlier of a certain someone who we're not going to name, that kind of behavior.
No, yeah, it's triggering for sure. I mean, we've talked about my being stalked before. And it's super triggering because when you can't let go, why? What is it that this person possesses that you literally can't? Not only can you not let go, you then have to remove this person from the planet, because if you can't have them, nobody can. I mean, who pissed in your sandbox? Why didn't that corrective behavior? It's.
But okay, so let's talk about that. So a lot of these, so the man I just mentioned, right? He said that the reason he couldn't give his wife the affection back because he didn't learn it. And I just think that is a crock of bullshit. There's a lot of things that you and I didn't learn growing up, but we decided to change it differently when we became mothers. Like, so I don't get that logic. Like, oh, because I didn't learn it, it's too late to learn. Like we don't learn until the day we die.
With her, but you were profiting from her, clearly in some type of way. What was the reason that he killed her?
He was jealous of her success. She was when I say this woman was probably she was the perfect woman, but that was the wrong man. Like, she would take this man on trips. She paid for their wedding all by herself. She bought the rings by herself.
So all the flags and signs were there that he didn't want her, but she wanted him. There was something about him that she just couldn't see. Like, but what's really crazy is that I would say he had to be doing something to make her believe, but he may or may not have been, if he didn't like her, who did he like? Was it a her or a him? And what made him feel so threatened that he had to then kill? Did she find out and say no, or did she finally meet somebody that made her feel the way that she wanted him to make her feel? And then here we go.
So the reason for this, and you're not going to be surprised, she finally figured out her worth and wanted a divorce.
Son of a bitch. Yeah. So his gravy train was ending. What a coward, man.
But that goes for a lot of people that do that. Like, okay, so there's a killer. Her name was Teresa Petto. Thankfully, and you guys know me, I don't have no clue. Thankfully, she's deceased now. But what year was it when she murdered her baby daddy's girlfriend? So she went to a school reunion years ago, and she hooked up with an old high school classmate. Her and the high school classmate ended up getting pregnant, and they had a child together. Their child died. She chose the 5-year anniversary of their daughter's passing, because her baby daddy moved on. And she chose the 5-year anniversary of their daughter's passing to go and murder his girlfriend. She had been stalking them relentlessly, and she wouldn't leave them alone. Young lady was 25. Teresa Petto was in like her 40s. That young lady, I forget what the victim's name is. She was a beautiful Asian woman, and she didn't deserve that. Like, she had the thing. Like I said, like everybody has a right to move on. Let's just call it what it is. Everybody has a right to move on.
They do.
But the fact that some people think that you don't have that right to do that, and then you're going to kill the person's significant other when that person had a right to love that person as well. I just.
So in her delusion, she thought what? That they were going to get together and make a replacement? You know, I wonder if, like, was she walking in the fog for so long, and then finally, how? I really hate that the laws on stalking are not stricter. Meaning, you shouldn't have to be physically harmed or physically harm someone that's stalking you for the police to do something about it. On the flip side, I do understand that it's also, unless you have extreme documentation to prove that someone is stalking you. And what I mean by that is, you can say that it's stalking because they're where you are, everywhere you are. You can say it's stalking, you know, them calling your phone so many times or whatever. And even though it's an annoyance, right? And it's a nuisance. The police really can't do at that point anything about it. What I do mean by them being laxed is that there then should be some type of file made on this person that they are harassing this person, so that when they don't do their job and you have to stand your ground, you're then not penalized for them not doing their job, for this motherfucker stalking you, because it escalates. You know, the calls, you change your number, they figure it out. That in itself shows that there's some type of instability going on. And hey, y'all need to keep an eye on this motherfucker, you know. But those instances of people coming to your house and knocking on the door, they done broke in and trashed it, and the police like, they're not here anymore, there's nothing that I can do. Bet. I'm just run this motherfucker, because the next time they come back, the next time they come around, and you pray that you don't have to get to that that ending. Like, you pray you don't have to get to, I'd have to kill this person and be traumatized for killing. Because quite honestly, in my heyday, had it got to that and I had to kill someone for my safety, I'm not gonna feel bad. I'm not gonna be traumatized. I had did what the fuck I had to do. A lot of people, a lot of men and women, because I think that what's not widely talked about is that I believe that some men are stalked more so than women.
That's
Women
for
become irrational. We go all the fuck deep dive in irrational. And we create stories in our head that says, this is what it's going to be, and this is how it's going to be. And then we get relentless. There are some women who just don't, they have no morality or whatever, but they have no self-esteem. They have not. I believe you, beyond mental illness, you don't care enough about yourself to put yourself in harm's way. I was watching this guy talk on TikTok about how a girl liked his pictures, started by liking his pictures. Then she figured out, like, he would show, like, he's in the gym, he's a fitness guy, and she got his number because you know, how you sign up for these fitness things and you're the personal trainer. Well, that's how it started going. So then, like, she shows up at his house, she shows up at his car, she shows up at the gym, you know, and he's making a video, and you have the people in the mixed comments, you know, in the comment section are mixed about what's going on. And I'm saying, if he don't stop that girl, and I don't mean stop by like him physically stopping her, if he needs to go to the police and not just TikTok and file, because he's going to have to physically stop her at some point. She's going to see him with someone else, because he's already told her he's not interested in her. So you never let someone tell you more than once.
Okay, I almost said a name.
You know, some people think they have to continually tell you that they're not interested in you, but it only takes one time. And then after that, okay.
Y'all, y'all know she said some. Well, hold on. Y'all know I love to say this because that was definitely this.
You know what?
That was definitely a read.
I know that this is a sore subject. And I hate to give it time, but I want to give it
Go
time
ahead. Go ahead.
because it kind of not really put us off our mark, but it did. So when we were going to interview and we did a podcast with Prentice, we're doing a recap of 2023, y'all.
Yeah.
When I tell you how excited we were to do this, this was going to be our first stab at really looking at someone's case, feeling like they have been wrongfully convicted, or I mean, like the time that you received is just outrageous, and we're trying to help you and you lie. There are certain things. Now, we're not dumb women for sure. There are certain things that we know that can or cannot be admitted to. But when people are helping you, people are not even getting paid to help you. People are doing their spare time, and sometimes not just a spare time that we could be doing something else beneficial to us. We are looking into helping him. We was noting and talking and sharing information, and then you lie. If you play games with us, I'm gonna assume that you did whatever the fuck they said you was gonna do.
Yep.
And so sometimes not a lot, because I really don't give life to that situation. After I was pissed for a long time after that.
Oh, me too. Me too.
Because not only did you lie, then your family went ham. And I feel like they put so much energy into trying to clown us and put zero effort and energy into being interviewed and helping us with the case. So
Exactly.
that's strike number two, that whatever you did, because your family ain't even trying to jump on board.
Right.
But when I think about the lying portion, I said, lying to us about a situation that almost directly involves your case tells me that you did it. And that I still think that the time is outrageous and crazy, but I'm gonna tack on some of that time for the time that I spent. And also for me letting somebody make it, because I could have made a phone call and I wanted to make a phone call.
You sure did.
Blow up the spot. When I read in the file, and I'm just gonna talk about it because I don't give a shit no more. When I read in the file that he knew the person that he was in the accident with, that is the one detail that I couldn't drop. And I know that I made mention a couple times in our conversations. That was odd. A lot of things didn't add up. And not just on his end, a lot of things didn't add up with, the insurance adjuster, the judge, and the lawyers, and all of that. I do feel like they railroaded him, and they did it on purpose. I do feel that it was that way, but he made it really easy.
Yep.
He made it very easy. But for him to say, it's on record in the court documents that they found out that he knew the young lady who was in the U-Haul that supposedly ran into him or whatever, right? He told us that he didn't know her on our podcast.
Yep.
So I do talk when I want to talk. But when it comes to certain situations, I am listening, and then I may not come up with what the fuck up today, but I'm still processing until I'm done. But that let me know that we were in the right space of pulling back. Because I definitely said I understand, the initial lie that brought everything to the table, right? And maybe we were just being too harsh. I went through that emotion because I do. I go through all of the emotions to make sure that karma don't come back to visit me.
Right.
Being mad and dealing with emotions. And so I went through that emotion as well. That's when I remembered that I had been saying, why did he say he didn't know that lady when it's in the court documents that he did? And then she was nowhere to be found. They were having a hard time locating her. I'm pretty sure she's still breathing. I don't mean not locating her in that manner, but she wasn't showing up. So if you didn't know someone and this is a court case and you're being subpoenaed, why are you not showing up? Anyway, it made me really halt and hesitant to really jump on and start helping other people because it's the only thing. So what I mean by bringing him up is that we could have dived into a little bit more and been further along than we are right now in our crusades. But everything happens for a reason. And it just wasn't the time. But we also needed to be, not that we didn't know the ridiculousness that can happen, to expose us early to give us that thick skin. So when it comes back around again, we call bullshit and we keep it moving. There's not going to be a need for a conversation. But definitely one of the moments of 2023 that pissed me off the absolute fucking most was that.
I'm going to go ahead and continue speaking on that because the Prentice situation almost made me want to back up and not do this thing at all. But I realized that unfortunately we're going to run into situations like this, and I'm thankful that we ran into it already. So we now know what to do in the future to avoid going through this level of stupidity and mockery that we went through with that family.
Really?
I'm just like the disrespect that we were getting, and then in that group chat that we had with you, me, and the other ladies, when we were initially messaging, I guess his son, and then it switched to him. I just
that was the conversation that I replayed when I said he could have been honest with us, and then I thought about how like even when saying in that group chat, you can be honest with us. We need to know who we dealing with. But when stuff is not adding up, I'm not wasting my time on shit that 1 and 2 is 5. Because that don't work for me. I need it to be 2.
Exactly.
So if you can't be honest with people that are trying to help you, I can't help you.
Yeah, that's another thing people need to understand about me and Fatu and then other people who are in this community who are trying to do what we're doing. We're not doing this for content. Like let's make sure that you guys are aware of this. We don't do this stuff for you guys to have something to watch on a Saturday or whenever you decide to watch a replay. We do this for you guys so you guys can be educated in something, so you guys can take something away from this and learn something from us. That's what Morning Mimosas is about. That's what it's about. Educating, making sure that we're doing effective change. I'm really glad that I went through what we went through with Prentice because it changed me. It made me want to go back to school, and do the actual work to make sure people like him, not people like him, people who were supposed to be like him, wrongfully convicted, right, get the true justice that they deserve. So I'm glad that happened because it helped me steer towards my career path and my mission. But You just got to beware of people like that.
Mm-hmm.
To change the subject just a little bit, there was a story in Pensacola, Florida. I don't know if you remember it, of Brooklyn Sims. She was an 18-year-old girl who was murdered by her baby daddy with the help of his mother. The reason I'm mentioning this today is because the young man was just convicted a few days ago. I believe he got life. So
life too.
The charges that the mother got was aiding and abetting, and what is the other one? Accessory to murder. She was texting her son, "Go get that bitch and make sure you get her." And she actually worked with Brooklyn Sims. I'm not going to mention the mother's name or the son's name because they're irrelevant. But we're going to mention the victim's name, Brooklyn Sims. She was 18 years old, and allegedly the murder plot was because allegedly she gave her baby daddy an STD a little bit before that. But when they did her autopsy, she had no STD. So he purely killed her because he was a deadbeat father. They had, I believe, a 1-year-old child or a 2-year-old child. He hadn't seen his child since the child was 2 months old, and the child was 2 years old. So
that means she had babies at 16, and then he killed.
Yeah,
I mean, she was moving on, and she was done with his bullshit.
And
why
everybody,
people shit on you in a relationship, and then you say, you know what, I'm not taking this shit no more, I'm finna go do better, and they mad at you? But that's not even just romantic relationships. That's with actual, like, just ships, period. Friendships do the same thing. You know, everybody, friendship looks different to everybody, right? What it does boil down to is you should have some type of respect.
Hello, I don't people get that.
Like, you should definitely, all the things that you are requiring of someone to be a friend to you, you should be that to them. And if you can't be that to them, then say that. I am the queen of the walk away. If someone shows me, whether it's verbally or physically, whatever, that they don't want to be in my life, then you ain't gotta be. And I could love you to death, but from across the room, you know, not even in the same building though. There's a lot that I have realized about myself now that I am, you know, everybody's on their healing, busting through trauma walls journey. And I can respect that. But I realized that there are a lot of things that people pay attention to that I just don't.
That's true.
And I just can't. What I have given so much of myself to a lot of people who weren't deserving of it that I can no longer give anymore. So if I'm just if I'm tired, I used to be the person that I know that I'm tired, but you need me to do something. Okay, let's go. Now I am tired and I need to lay it down. When you figure out, your body will tell you when you've had enough, when you've done too much, when you need to relax, when you're stressing about stuff that you really shouldn't even be stressing about because you can't change the shit anyway. When you get to recognizing that your body is giving you signals, and that's what it does for me. So like I don't realize, or I tell myself that I'm not stressing, but my body tells me that I am. So then I just have to write that shit, burn it, and release it. I can no longer tolerate horrible energies. I can't tolerate overbearing. I can't tolerate anything because then my body goes, dude, that's enough. That's just enough. I feel that people who refuse to accept accountability for their life's actions, and why things are happening to them as they are happening. Those people have lost kind of touch with reality and feel like this is their world and everybody is just revolving around them, and that's not healthy.
Okay.
And that's why we also are getting people, what is it? The men beating up women that can't get their numbers, the young lady that got hit with the brick, or people making excuses for whatever's happening to women. Because I remember not that what didn't happen that long ago. And after she got hit with the brick because she wasn't interested, people start bringing up old shit that she did, whether it was a week ago, a month ago, a year ago, and that to justify. That's why those things happen, because it's my world and you revolve around it. So when I reach out and say you're mine, you're supposed to say yes. What I will admit though is that while men are very violent, women are more destructive than men in that situation, because we got the patience, goddamn, for the long motherfucking game. And we will nickel and dime you until you just can't take it. Men just be like, okay, I'm gonna beat your ass and move on. I'm gonna kill you and move on. Women are like, no, I'm gonna destroy everything in your life and then see you unhappy, let you be unhappy for a while, and then I'm gonna go for the jugular. Lost touch of reality. When you get to that point, you are at a lost touch of reality. And sometimes I'm there with you, so welcome. Sometimes I'm not. Let's go 95.5.
Y'all know Miss Fox always got the wise words.
I'm sorry, I'm gonna be quiet.
No. You always got the wise word. That why you think you part of Morning Mimosas? you a thief and you got a way with words.
Wow. That's a hot mess.
But y'all, 2024 is soon approaching. And as you guys know, Ms. Fati's already in school doing her criminal justice thing. And I'll be starting school on January 16th with my first class, which is Intro to Criminal Justice. So I'm really excited. Huh?
How many classes are you taking?
Taking 3.
Okay.
And then it'll be 4 by April.
For the
it's just, I'm just really excited. And that's another reason why we're going on so it's kind of a hiatus. We're not going to be going live on Saturdays like we typically do. You guys will get beautiful content every Saturday though. Still going to make sure you guys still get the knowledge that you guys need, whatever criminal justice information you guys need. And then obviously the healing portion. And with me going to school, there'll be a lot more because I'll probably start using a lot more criminal justice terminology, more healing terminology, more educational terminology. I mean, I already sound educated when I talk, but you know me, I'm just a person that cusses too. I'm a smart person that uses colorful words.
I like people that I feel like if you don't some people think that cursing lacks, intelligent, but sometimes you gotta tell a motherfucker to fuck you.
Ooh, yeah.
There you go. The cursing.
In more ways than one. But ooh, that was not appropriate for me. But yeah, guys. So we're gonna it'll just be for like a little bit because I'm gonna try to get back in the groove of going to school. So we'll be back doing live episodes again on February 3rd. No, right, February 3rd. Which is the 1-year anniversary of when Morning Mimosas first launched. So we'll be back. The premiere will be a almost cold case at that point that we'll be doing with another fellow podcaster. We'll be talking about the story of the murder of his brother, Correll Hayes, in Wichita, Kansas. For some reason, Wichita, you need some help.
Well, towns. Okay.
So, just, in our pursuit of justice, and then, you know, it'd be a huge check-in because I'll be in school for about a few weeks at the time, and you guys can just hear about how I'm doing in school and everything else, and just see the big change that's happening. Um, we'll be becoming detectives. As you guys know, we don't just do this podcast so you guys can see our pretty faces. We do this podcast to do effective change. Walk it and talk it.
Walk it like I talk it.
Yes, ma'am. So we're gonna get out of here soon. This was a recap of 2023. We missed a few things, but you guys know we did a lot. We had amazing guests. We had Hayden Maka. As you guys know, I love him. And he graced Morning Mimosas. I think you guys were watching that episode. It's at 1,000 views.
Thank
Appreciate that. Appreciate the love. Um, we interviewed some amazing people. Miss Danae Jones of Houston, Sober Girls Houston. That was amazing. Got a shout out Harley Hendricks. Our professional imaginary friend. We love her dearly. Trap Talk TV. CJ, Kenny, and Miles. We love y'all, brothers. Thank you guys for gracing Morning Mimosas a few times. Just all the amazing people that we've had on our show. Just thank you, thank you, thank you for making Morning Mimosas what it is. And just also thank you for the support that you guys have given us this far. 2024, we're going to go harder. We're going to have more stories for you guys. We're going to educate you guys more. You guys are going to see us actually in the field getting justice for these cases. You guys think we're just talking about it? No, we're going to be about it. We're going to go to these cases. We're going to talk to these families. We're going to get justice. Effective change has arrived in the form of us two ladies, alongside other people who are doing it. So you guys just stay tuned. Keep supporting Morning Mimosas. I put all the information down there. Support us. We're becoming detectives, guys. We need you guys' help. We're not doing this for us. We're doing this for y'all and us. I'm not going to say I'm not doing it for me. I'm doing this for me too.
Transactional. Goes both ways.
Okay. But I want to say thank you to Ms. Fatu again for everything that she's done for Morning Mimosas. She's been there since before I launched. She was always interested in what I was doing. I'm glad that she was the co-host that made it all the way to the end. And I hate to say it like that because I'm not saying anything bad about the previous co-hosts, but obviously she was the one that stood here because she was the one that was meant to be here. And I truly appreciate you for that. We're going to get out of here, y'all. Y'all have a happy new year. You guys stay safe. Let's change this year. Let's make this effective change, y'all.
Positive. Let's be more loving. Let's be more peaceful. Let's be more changing. Let's change. Let's not be the same in the same situation that we are here today. The same mindset, the same body set, the same anything. We should wake up different any day. I mean, you could change within a span of a day. Be purposeful with that change. Let's be better.
Let's do better. So I'm going to play a random video before we get out of here, and then I'll give us the whole spiel. I don't know which one I'm going to click, but it'll probably be funny. I'm probably going to choose this one because this one has truth. So this clip is actually a clip of my younger sister, Priska, and it has like a funny thing in the background that I want you guys to take a listen to. So there you go, sis.
What item was sold the most during the 1800s? Correct.
Yeah.
On that note, we will see you guys next year. Until that next time, this is Morning Mimosas, where we value human life, criminal justice, healing, and educating the Black and minority communities, the communities of which we come from and serve. Until next time, Happy New Year!
24.